For this function, determine vertical and horizontal asymptote. So we go for vertical asymptote. Vertical asymptote, kita nak tahu nilai x dia. So nak tahu nilai x tu, kita cari function undefined dekat mana. Penyebut dia kosong. Sebab rational function kan. So penyebut dia kosong. Maksudnya x square tolak 9 tu kosong. We simplify this, x plus 3, x minus 3. So it will be undefined at x equals to 3 and x equals to negative 3. Therefore, we using our limit, idea of limit, kita akan buat limit x approaches 3 from the left hand side for this function. So what's the answer? Then we approach it from right hand side. So I do for negative 3 first. I do in order. So left hand side, negative 3 from right hand side. And then 3 from left hand side. And 3 from right hand side. Okay, so we get the value that you undefined first. Then we find the asymptote. Okay, so how to do? We just must, bila kita dapat limit value, kita just masukkan je lah, betul? Kita masukkan 3 darab 3, boleh kira negatif 9. Tapi kalau masuk kat bawah, dia kosong kan? So, a number divide a 0, definition dia, infinity. 0 over 0, IDF. Infinity over infinity, IDF. But a number divide a 0, definition dia infinity. So, whether positive or negative infinity, kita test value. Take your calculator and then we test value. You see, negative 3, negative 3, 3. Negative 3 from left hand side means the value that we want to test here, negative 3.01. That's it. Put in your calculator and then you calculate this. So that I want to know this 0 is positively or negatively. Bila dah square, dia 9.001 something minus 90.001 something square root positively, betul? This 0 point something something is positively. Betul? Faham ke? So, negative over positive, so it will be in the properties of negative. How about this? If we want to put negative 3 from the right hand side, so negative 2.99. If negative 2.99 here, cert negative, can it be worked? 2.99 bila kita square, dia tak cukup 9 kan? Bila dia tolak 9, kita nampak dia dapat negatif kan? Insert here negative, can it be worked? It will be undefined. So, here, tak ada graph lah. This function is not work at this region. Undefined. Function tu tak terlibat dalam bahagian situ. Tak ada result apa-apa. How about 3 from the left hand side means 2.99. So same situation will go. Undefined. Boleh? Boleh. Kamu tekan calculator tak boleh nak kira. Math error, undefined. So for 3 from the right hand side, we test 3.001. This one can be calculated. 3 times 3, 9. 9 over 0. We can calculate. This 0 is positively. So positive over positive, positive. Boleh. Kalau rasa pelik, kita tengok balik the idea of domain. The idea of domain. Cert kena lebih daripada 0, right? So this x square minus must be more than 0. So means this quadratic more than 0. Negative 3, 3. So your graph is defined at x more than negative 3 and x more than 3. So betul lah. So bila di antara negatif 3 dengan 3 ada dah graf ni tertarif, tak tertarif. So bahagian yang ada graf adalah di bahagian kurang daripada negatif 3 dengan lebih daripada 3 sahaja. Faham? Okay, so vertical asymptote siap. From here, this result, we can notice that x equals to 3 and x equals to negative 3, they are vertical asymptotes. Then we go to figure out horizontal asymptote. So for horizontal asymptote, the way to calculate is limit x approaches negative infinity for the function. And another limit x approaches positive infinity for the function. So you can notice that when we substitute infinity, infinity, IDF. To solve this IDF, our priority will go to the square root first, right? So actually this one, to simplify this function, we are going to divide square root x squared. In other words, it is equal to modulus x. So we're going to pick whether positive x or negative x. Depends on your x approaches ke mana. So for this, when x approaches negative infinity, maka apa yang kita nak bahagi di sini adalah negative infinity adalah bahagi dengan negative x. So inside the square root tak ada masalah, mereka bahagi dengan x square. So dapat negative 3 over square root 1 minus 3x square, 9x square. Masukkan infinity, it left square root 1 minus 0. So this is negative 3. Continue for positive infinity. Kita nak simplifykan IDF ini. So because it approaches positive infinity means your x is greater than 0. So we will pick positive x. To simplify here, within the set, dalam set kita masih lagi bahagi dengan x square. Then when we substitute infinity here, 9 over infinity, 0. 3 over set 1, 3. So we can conclude the result is our horizontal asymptote, which is y equals to negative 3, y equals to 3. We have two horizontal asymptote here. Then last step, we look on the questions. We're going to sketch the graph with those results we have here. So you know your asymptote already, we jot down our asymptote. You're having your asymptote at x equals to negative 3 and x equals to positive 3. So when you draw, straight away label x equals to negative 3, x equals to 3, label. For horizontal punya pun, y equals to 3, y equals to negative 3. So as we know, our graph for the first part, as we know, our graph only defined for negative 3 from the left hand side and 3 from the right hand side. Tengah-tengah domain sini tak ada graph. Faham? So daripada sini kita tahu, okay, tengah-tengah sini tak ada graph. The graph is undefined. Only occur as negative 3. When x approaches negative 3, your graph is going to negative infinity. So when your x datang daripada negative 3 bahagian kiri, negative infinity means your graph is going down here. Okay. Kemudian, when your x approaches 3 from the right hand side, the graph is going positive infinity. Kalau graph menghampiri 3 dari bahagian kanan, so the graph is positive infinity. You're going up di atas. Bahagian ekor graph yang menghampiri asymptote tu. Okay. So that is your first part result to give us hints our graph here. So second part, horizontal. Bila dia pergi negative infinity, maksudnya x tu ke semakin ke kiri. Graf tu menghampiri negatif 3. So bila graf menghampiri negatif 3, bermaksud sini je lah. Dia takkan naik sini pula. Sebab atas ni tak ada ekor pun. Ekor dia di bawah kan. Sebelah ekor di sana. So maksudnya menghampiri negatif 3 sinilah. Sinilah. So kita cantum 2 ekor tu dapatlah satu curve. Boleh. Dan nampak hint lah, sini ada, sini ada. So our curve occur at here. When x approaches negative infinity, the graph closer to negative 3. Bila x menghampiri negative 3, the graph going negative infinity. Boleh. So lagi satu result sini, bila x menghampiri x infinity, maksudnya semakin kanan. Kalau nak pergi semakin kanan, graf menghampiri 3 di sini. Menghampiri 3 di sini. Asymptote horizontal asymptote dia di sini. So maksudnya kat sini lah. Sebab dia dah nampak satu ekor di sini kan. So menghampiri semakin 3. Lastly, we label. This is apa ni? Function. Function here 3x over square root x squared minus 9. So make sure your graph label C x-axis, y-axis, yes. Asymptote, all must label. So value 3. So sini kena label negative 3. Sini 3. Lastly, graph dia kena label function.